Well, a big warm welcome to Jim and Sandy Minneo from Connecticut. It's great to have you here with us at head office, and it's a real pleasure to be able to talk to you today and really just share some things and to be able to introduce you and introduce some of the success that you've been able to have. So welcome.
Well, it's great to be here, right?
Yes.
Good.
It's awesome.
Now, I know that you just got back from Hawaii, so aloha.
Aloha. I highly recommend everyone goes diamond to go diamond, but to be in Maui, it's special. I thank MonaVie for taking us there.
Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about how you became involved with MonaVie and how you were introduced to the company.
Well, it was really a love affair with the product. I was in real bad shape. I had a bad knee, and I had gone to the doctor, and they wanted to do a knee replacement. And before the knee replacement, they wanted me to go through therapy to get my legs stronger. So I started therapy, and the second week of therapy, I had a new therapist, and he introduced me. He gave me a bottle of juice. And he said, this might help you a little bit before you get the operation to maybe take some of the pain and swelling away. And so this is my story, right? All right, I'm not saying that MonaVie is going to give you a brand new knee. But the reality is, 3 days later, I always had heartburn. I always had acid reflux, and that went away. And so I never saw that guy again. I did call the corporation. I tried to order some MonaVie, and a couple weeks later, I got a call from an individual in the area that sold me a case of juice. And after the third bottle, my knee was better, and I just knew this was a great product. And so my dad, I started getting him to drink that, and started getting our friends and family, because you want your friends and family to feel good. Yeah. And so it was a love affair with the product at first, and then before you know it, we just had a business up and running. It really turned into an opportunity not only to feel good and to help our friends feel good, but an opportunity to see the chance of us having total financial freedom. And so it's been a love affair, not of only of the product now, but of the business too.
And so when you started this journey, when you got introduced to MonaVie, like you said, this began as a journey. What was it you were doing? What's your career background?
I was in the Air Force. I was in the Air Force for 25 years, and the first 8 years I worked on the weapon systems for the airplanes. And then I went into recruiting. And I did the same thing in recruiting that we do in MonaVie, actually. I sat down with young men and women, talked about their plans and their future, looked at the programs that the Air Force had, and overlaid them over what their goals were to see if they matched. And if they matched, they enlisted, and they went away and had a great career or a good stepping stone to what their goals were. But the business was no different. The business is the same thing, sitting down with people, finding out what your goals are, what you'd love to do, maybe what your frustrations are, and seeing if we can take the MonaVie opportunity with the products and help you physically, or with the business to help you financially. So, I mean, that's what I did. I miss being in the Air Force. I miss my uniform, but I have a new uniform, and I put this one on every day.
I come from a financial background. I have a degree in business with a minor in accounting, and I worked for a major corporation in Connecticut, and I ran the budgets for the four offices in Connecticut, and I absolutely loved what I did. But then it just started with the stress, the 60-hour weeks, taking work home, and then the boss taking his family to Maui for vacation, and Jim was taking me to Jersey to see his folks. So I realized
not a good vacation.
Not a good vacation. So I realized we just wanted to do something different. And we are willing to work, and we're willing to work hard. We're not lazy, but what we realized is, what if one day we weren't able to work? Because we saw that when my parents moved in with us in '94, they lived with us for 10 years. So we got this going, and it's been great not to answer to a boss for a long time.
One thing I know from having a beautiful wife is that men and women don't always think the same. So what was your first reaction when Jim came home with this bottle of juice?
Well, Jim is always, because I'm not a vitamin taker, Jim is always bringing something home for me to try, usually in liquid form, and I wouldn't even try it. It either looked nasty, smelled nasty, and it got to right here, and I wouldn't even try it. So when he introduced me to this, I thought, well, it doesn't look nasty, so I'll try, and I love it.
There were a few things that even I had to hold my nose on. and I'd say, here, try this. One of those things like, here, try this.
Yeah,
and you know it's not going to work.
Yeah, so I absolutely fell in love with the product. And it took 3 months for me to get a feeling. Yeah. Honestly, I was in a bad car accident when I was 15 going to a KISS concert. And that's a whole nother story. And so after having 30 stitches in the left side of my head and the windshield stopping me, I suffered many years with just neck and shoulder pain. But it really showed itself as I got older. So chronic neck and shoulder pain. So it took 3 months. But I was thinking, when I read the science behind the product, I thought, well, I'll at least keep drinking it, even though Superman here feels great. I'll just keep drinking it for the nutrition. And about 3 months into it, I was backing out of the driveway, and I was actually able to turn my head, and I thought, oh, that's when I realized something was different.
Where do you want to go from here? What's next? What's the big dreams from here?
We have a lot of dreams. I know I have on my computer monitor this thing says Black Diamond, and we would love the thought of a new black Mercedes being delivered to us. But you know, money truly isn't everything. Money allows us to have a life, a more meaningful life. And what we saw in this, we wanted time. We only have one child, and she's 26. She's married, and they have one son. So we're grandparents to a little boy named Nixon. And the thought of in the middle of the day, we are sitting on the back porch watching him play on his play skate that took Papa 3 days to put together in the hot sun.
Nothing in the box was assembled. I even had to make the screws.
We'll go with that story.
It was, yeah. And our upline Purple spent 3 days over there in the hot sun helping him put it together, but anything for Nixon. And the fact that, you know, we'll have people stop by, and we have a huge back porch with ceiling fans. The back of our house looks like a southern plantation, which is just the way I like it, being from the South and living in New England. But they'll come by and go, wow, this really is what you guys do during the day. And we're like, would you like a cup of coffee? You need an energy drink, a protein bar. So it's really, really fun. So money only allows us to do that because every month the mortgage is due. You know, the electricity needs to be paid. And so I've never had goals and dreams of this big mansion and truly driving a Mercedes or anything like that. I didn't grow up rich. I didn't grow up poor. I thought just to sit down at the first of the month and our expenses are covered, they're paid, and that was my dream, really. And my dream is to help other people. And, you know, money is to help people who really, truly need it. And I guess I got that from my mom. If you need it and I have it, you can have it. And so, you know, that's really what we want from this, is just to help other people.
That and when we made this run to Blue Diamond, it was so exciting to see people that were Star 1000s make it to gold. I mean, it was an experience of watching, the first time watching your children open up Christmas presents or birthday presents, getting that feeling of it's better to give than to receive. Right? Because when you're a kid, I don't know if that feeling comes over. I think it's better to receive than give. Yeah. But at this point, you know, watching us have a new emerald and a couple new rubies and new golds, and watching their success. We've gone out now Jeep shopping with a few of the couples because they're trying to pick out what Jeep they want. That is the future goal. And what happens when we can get enough people to do that, all the other things fall into place.